Hi guys. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the most important things you need to know in 2025. It all, has to do with the same thing. It's confidence, authenticity, and self-love. And how can you embody that more? That is the most important thing for 2025 because we're having so much go into Aries that there's going to be a lot of ego deaths. There's going to be a lot of us facing our shadow and kind of exhuming like who we truly are. Like that is coming to the surface. And it's definitely like a lot of the parts that we forgot about. And, it's not a comfortable process when that happens. It's an ego death. Ego deaths are not comfortable because when we go through an ego death, we remember why we stopped acting a certain way or stopped embodying that like most authentic version of ourselves, and we face all the trauma. We face all the trauma and like how we like maybe need to be vulnerable in some way, like where we kind of put on a mask, put on a block, became cold, whatever like is truly authentic to us. And you can see this from your natal chart, by the way, how you can embody like more of your authentic self again. So you can really become that, because that is where you can be the most powerful. That is where your natural gifts and talents are, and that is where you can easily be aligned with your soulful purpose and destiny. So like, for example, say like you were born like naturally very like sweet and optimistic and open, but like you had a hard upbringing, so it kind of made you like just a little cold and a little shut off sometimes, and very like protective and just a little hardened. Like then, and this is my story, by the way. Okay. So, you start attracting the wrong things to you. Like if it's the wrong relationships, you'll start attracting like people that like, you being independent and you being like maybe a little like emotionally closed off, even if you like do feel things like very intensely. Then like it is like you've been attracting things for so long that really aren't for you. And it's like kind of getting back into your natural like essence, before all of that happened, that actually gives you your power back. You can feel this whenever you're not acting like as your, full authentic self. You have tension in your body because there is still that urge to act in that more authentic way that is way more easy and flowing versus like having those like walls just up. Very important to maybe just get in touch of like who that natural like essence were. You can look to childhood, you can look at your birth chart, but it's going to be very important to like not shrink down to make people comfortable anymore. You have to just be that full authentic version of you, and whoever like comes is supposed to come into your life. You can't be that puzzle piece that tries to like fit into the wrong puzzle, because that's what we do when we like try to dim ourselves down or block off a part of ourselves. It's going to be like more recognized as fake, and people will recognize it like more and more and more, like a lot easier. You can already tell now like when people are not being their authentic self. It's just going to be so transparent, it's going to be very transparent and just like easier to see when people are trying versus like being and doing what they authentically are and want. So, there will be a lot more getting kicked out of relationships, getting kicked out of jobs that really aren't meant for you. You don't make yourself digestible, because you will find the people and the opportunities and what's like going to be the best thing for you by like being that full version of you. Okay, so another thing is your assumption of yourself and what you think about yourself is going to be the most important thing. So it's less about like you caring about what other people think of you. It's more of what do you think about yourself, And how do your actions and words, what you think and do in your life from that place where like that really takes you. Like your perception of yourself is going to be so important, because that can, you know, really get diluted. And if you put too much like importance on what other people think of you, and you try to change and you try to morph, and you can't take the criticism. You can take criticism. You got to learn how to take criticism and not change. Okay? Like you can like always like evolve and grow into the best version of yourself, but you can't focus on outside criticism and make yourself different from that, because there will be so much energy that goes into like maintaining that image, and that's literally going to drain our life force. Like our life force is just going to be the best well spent towards being our most authentic, powerful self, and how we can be like the most empowered version and have that confidence in going after our visions and our goals, versus trying to maintain any mask or ego. You're not going to please everybody. Nobody has ever pleased everybody in their entire lives. So it's really important to realize how much energy that takes to maybe like uphold an image or a persona that is just not you. It takes a lot of energy, and you know, you're just going to be so much more powerful by getting into yourself. You know, it's just that natural, easy flow. Because feeling like you have to like change, you know, that's putting on another mask. And then like, yeah, you just got to be, you know, you got to be that, you got to be able to take the pressure, you know, because there is going to be a lot of just adjustments and everything with everybody going through this. But like you have to learn how to, you know, take the pressure and just love yourself anyway. Like if you get criticized, if you know, get some sort of challenge or whatever, like that'll just, you know, that makes you a diamond, you know? Like you have to like realize like who you authentically are and who's gonna really appreciate it, and just let go of anyone who doesn't. Like don't spend too much time or energy. Like, you know, you got to take the heat. It'll make you strong. It'll make you more bold. It'll make you more confident. Because not everybody's supposed to be light and happy all the time. There's a lot of aspects in society where we've dimmed like the lower things. Like I can be super emo sometimes. I can be super like, you know, needing to go in a hole and hermit for like a couple months or so. I think I'm moving into a new era, but you know, that was basically since 2020, to just like really like brood and sulk and really go in depth and get in there and just like, you know, love. Like I love being alone though after like not just after that, but like, you know, not everybody's personality is going to please everybody, and it's not supposed to. So it's really just letting people do them, and appreciating like maybe that uncommon aspects that everyone hid from society, and appreciating that anyway. I like seeing that anyway. Because yeah, wearing a mask in every situation, that's just not going to be as much of a thing. It's going to be too exhausting. But what I do like for this is being able to maybe like how you can embody that most authentic version of you. Like who did you want to be as like a kid? Like who did you like really like visualize yourself as being when you were an adult? And like you can visualize that, you know, your most authentic self, and like you know, it does have to be authentic though. Like how do you dress? How do you talk? How do you walk? Like it is like going to be all uniquely you. And I think the more you can make it more uniquely you, the more powerful it is. You know, authenticity is just going to be like, you know, a superpower. Like, you know, people will admire it and everything. So it's really like embodying that most authentic version of you, so you can live that life that you know, really want to live, that gives you that life force, that gives you that energy. So you don't have to like, you can let the right people and things like come to you. because it's going to be about your legacy, like your destiny. Like Pluto and Capricorn, we were taught like, oh, you get the giant house, you get the cars, you live at the top of the hill, you like, that's like going to make you happy. Celebrity, that's going to make you happy. Like, no, that shit actually doesn't make everybody happy. And I don't know if you guys have met celebrities, but holy shit, most of them are difficult and miserable. So like, it's really important to focus on like, what does your happily ever after look like? What is that? It's going to be unique to you. It's everybody's happily ever after, and what they want, what they dream of, is going to be so uniquely for them. And it's kind of like, Nara Smith, she gets so much hate, but literally all she does is like cook, and like make beautiful dinners and make everything from scratch. And yeah, she wears fancy clothes, but she's doing what she loves. And her intention is pure, because it's like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm cooking, I like clothes, I'm a girly girl. I mean, I like fashion, I'm a girly girl, I'm a model, I get a ton of clothes for free. And yeah, they're bougie. Yeah, they, live kind of different lives compared to everybody else. But even Lucky, like I like his like 1950s like wear and everything. They fully just do, what they love, and they're just like taking care of their cute little family, kind of minding their own business. And no matter what they hate, or whatever, like they're not changing. They're going full force and staying like that. And that's what everybody needs to do. So know what you're doing to go after your castle and your ultimate life. And, as long as you know your intention in your heart, then you don't have to let any people or anybody like waste your time or energy defending it or changing. So like, know what your castle looks like, and know your, heartfelt intentions and why you're doing what you're doing. Because also, like, I feel like there's going to be a lot more angry people in general, like more trolls on the internet. And it's like, I don't know. People like do like to troll on the internet out of, to get that entertainment, to get that reaction out of people. So it's like, do you want to be one of those people? No. Like, you want to like embody, like, and there is enough abundance for us for us all to live our unique, empowered lives. But like, don't troll on the internet. Like, that is like you getting a validation out of some sort of wound from the past or something. And like, you want to live like maybe like, them. And you can live out your happily ever after, your story that you want. You can live out your destiny, and now is the time. It's going to be easier than it was in the past, so it's time to do it. I will say, like, yeah, more angry people because they're not acting on their fullest potential. And when we don't act on our fullest potential, we do feel angry. That's the most, like, I've ever usually, feel when I feel the most down on myself, and when I feel the most harsh on myself, is because I know I should be doing something or going after that desire, or like, going after that challenge or that change, and letting myself grow and evolve. If you let yourself, and we've all been there, like let ourselves like get into that rut and not go after the challenge, then we feel bad about ourselves and we sit on the couch and we just like sulk. And I feel like that's just going to be an easier thing to get like stuck in a rut. Actually, like, we're going to need the challenge. We're going to need to go after our soulful purpose and that soulful calling, because that's what's going to give us our life force. Like, that's going to help us make us realize ourselves. Like, by going after our desires, that gives us life force, and that more so uncovers like who we truly are. The more we manifest, actually, is the more we like break out of karma. So we need to, like, that urge is just going to be there, like, even stronger, even fierier, so like you have to like get yourself out of the rut, like, and that's the rut, is just by the non-action. and instead like do one step at a time, like, do a small accomplishment, or at least like summon how you want to feel. Like, okay, so if I wanted to feel accomplished and I don't want to like go to the gym, or I don't want to go do this big thing or plan this whole thing out, what can I do that's small so I can summon the feeling? And it's like, you can really like just start by doing the dishes, doing the laundry, like putting on makeup, eating a cookie, whatever it is to feel like accomplished, that genuinely gives you that feeling. If you summon it, it'll get you going at least. So you can follow that trail by the universe, the universal trail. Like when whatever emotion we're summoning ourselves, I think it's going to be a lot easier to follow that nice little trail into more of what we love, more of what we desire, more of that accomplishment feeling. So we can really like get that, let that us get us out of the rut. But realize when you're in a rut, it's probably because you're not embodying your full potential in some way. And it's just going to be more difficult to suppress. Because there will be, like, if you're stuck at this job or in this relationship that you know it's been time to go, you've been ready to go, and you feel like you're settling, like, there's going to be more outburst moments of, like, fuck it, like, no. Like, we're not doing this anymore. Fuck it, we ball. Fuck it, like, we're out of here. Fuck it, like, the like courage is definitely still going to be amplified, and it's going to be a good thing. But again, like with getting aligned with our destiny and our purpose, our sacred purpose, it is kind of like we have to like really listen to ourselves, and we can make it easy to get there, or we can make it hard to get there. So letting things like get to that blow up moment, obviously that's the hard way, to do things. So it's really like listening to where you can maybe take that little step of bravery and just say, fuck it, we ball, and like see where the universe takes you. But yeah, so, with that, it's like choose your pain. Either way, there will be pain with growth. There always is. And it can be like literally like, you go to the gym every day and that's your pain, or you like show up online and become a social media person. Cringe pain. It is cringe pain. But like you cringing at yourself with pain, but at least you're doing something about it, and you still feel the accomplishment either way. Even like you get the cringe, then you get the accomplishment. And that's the same thing, you go to the gym, you feel uncomfortable because everyone's fit, and then you're like, okay, but we'll be there one day, and you just like do it and do it and do it until you feel comfortable, whatever like you want to accomplish, you have to have that pain or discomfort, and there's no avoiding that pain or discomfort, because otherwise you're gonna have that pain or discomfort just by sitting and sulking, and you might use your creative energy towards like negative shit, like fighting, drugs, alcohol, whatever. Like you have to use that energy and that life force towards something. So choose where you want to be uncomfortable, because that's like where you will find your new strength, and where you can feel good about becoming stronger and stronger and living out your purpose and your life force and feeling that triumph. It's going to be very important to like feel that triumph too. So yeah, the only way through this transit is through self-empowerment, or else you will like lose your life force to live pretty quickly. So it is like you have to like choose yourself. You have to choose self-improvement. You got to choose self-empowerment in your vision and your goals. And it is like, it does have to do with relationships, because like, Aries, Libra axis, it is about relationships. There will be more like of those like intense connections too, twin flames, but intense soul connections where, it does like trigger you to become more of your authentic self, because that's what the soul connections do. It's like, that frequency that like seems familiar, and you're just like, it makes you remember more. They make you remember more of yourself and, actually embody more of your frequency through the energy transference and that recognition and all of that. With that, of course, there will be like extreme love sickness and, just all the things that happen with those intense and strong soul connections. But those also help you self-actualize. But make sure, with that too, you still have your own vision. That's the whole point with those intense soul connections too, is to empower you. So you become that best version of yourself. So you remember yourself. So you become, that most authentic version of yourself. Again, through frequency, through that soul recognition, through all of that stuff. So really know what you want going into this new year. Like, yeah, you're going to be facing shadows either way, but like you need to become the king of your life and know what mountain you want to climb. And know that like all the shadow that you go through, it is like, that is where the gold is. You recognizing your shadow, that does give you more of your authentic power and like recognizing like, what you've been through already. And, how like you have so much of, when you have so much more of your original essence just online, it just makes you such a more powerful and magnetic person. So know what you want, go after it. And so the universe wants you to succeed. Like you only have those desires for a reason. And once you realize those desires and take action towards those desires, it's actually easier. Like it's not supposed to be hard. The universe wants to give you things. It wants you to self-actualize and wants you to make the world a better place. And like it doesn't, yes, it is like hard and like you do have to put in work and get off the couch, but it will feel good. It'll feel motivating. It'll feel inspiring. It will realize that everything isn't hopeless, that your desires and your big dreams and goals can manifest in a super fast way. But it is just us like recognizing how powerful, again, that we actually are, for us to really be able to create our reality in like such a powerful way, because we're getting out of that old era where it was, way harder, way more dense, way more difficult to create our reality in that personal way that we truly want to now. But we're moving into the new era where it's going to be a lot easier. Things are going to move a lot faster, and we have such immense power to create our reality. Like just as equally as we have that desire, we equally have the power to not realize that desire. So you literally just have to go after your desire and put energy towards that, because the other way around, it's just not going to feel good either way. So, yeah, I hate to laugh at that, but, been through a lot of spiritual growth. Also, masculine upgrades. So that's going to be nice. And we don't know fully how that's going to look, but obviously that the masculine energy needs to come back online. It's not playing weak. Society has made them play weak and small and insecure and suppress their rage and some of their sexual tendencies, or using their sexual energy in the, worst ways possible. Like, like that is creative energy. That is creative energy to like build your life. And like it does literally take their power away by like giving them, drugs, sex, alcohol, porn. Like that's taking all of your energy to create your life in a very meaningless way. So masculine energy is going to be more like, in touch with their hearts. Again, with Neptune going into Aries, more in touch with that unconditional love and their higher selves and that deeper meaning and purpose in life. But at the same time, Uranus energy, that's like, that hot sexuality again, like recognizing their sexual essence and not suppressing it as much. But with that, like how you can actually be the authority of your life when you're committing to the right things. Like if it is that right relationship, I think with Neptune and Aries, they'll be able to sense the soul connections like even more so, and how like that is sacred. That is like, a deeper soulful like feeling that you can't, nothing artificial can replace that. You know, you can go in a goddamn box and like masturbate to like, oh shit, can I say that on YouTube? You know, anime fake AI vagina or something. But that doesn't replace like that doesn't give you that deep soulful feeling that matters, you know, that deeply soulfully matters. So realizing like how they can have more authority with their lives and their energy and that masculine energy by realizing what they can commit to. And the tear and spiritual union came out reverse. So yeah, I think this is going to be a bumpy ride with like maybe losing these soul connections to really bring it out, because that's what brings it out. You know, you have to like feel the loss of things. You have to like feel that dread and that sadness. You know, everyone's journey is going to be different, but it's going to, you know, this is so they gain their control back. You know, they won't be controlled as easily. Our relationships won't be as ruined, you know, so easily. So let the men claim their masculinity back, and they're going to figure out how to do that. But that's why I pulled cards to it too. I think it does like recognize, you know, they're going to recognize like those deeper soul connections and feel that loss with it. But at the same time, there's like this eros and that sexual passion, and not letting that dim down if that's coming towards you. Let that, you know, that's going to open up their heart chakras in that, you know, that more unconditional love way and everything. But that is who's going to step up more into the leadership roles, are the ones that can't be controlled as much anymore, that commit their time and their energy towards the right relationships or the right endeavors, like, and follow their heart, you know, towards that soulful path and purpose. Not the ones that are scrolling on Hinge or, you know, the porn sites or whatever. Like the ones that are actually want to build and be committed to building. Let me know how, if you guys have any questions. I might make another video of this because, like, you know, there's probably more I could say too. But yeah,